Y'all, we are back. We have been busy here in the Lab Media Public Relations Studios. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. I have the Mr. Eric Walden in the building. Now, we see each other a lot in passing. And I feel like you have a lot of jobs.
I do. I wear a lot of hats.
I feel like you do. So we're going to get into it today.
I don't have any hair.
We're going to get into it today. I do not know you personally, but I am excited to get to learn a little bit more about you, about your upbringing, about what you are doing professionally. You just told me that you are currently getting your doctorate.
Yes.
Impressive. And I can't wait to hear more. So let's start at the beginning. Like, where are you from? Tell us the things.
So originally, I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Wow.
That's where I'm from. All my family lives there in Las Vegas. And as a kid, we kind of moved around a lot. My mom got into another relationship with a gentleman. My brother's dad actually is from Toledo, Ohio. So we moved to Toledo, and they split up. Short story, and then we ended up moving to Kansas, where my mom's side of the family lived. And so part of my childhood or my teenage years was in Kansas. Being a young teenager, young man, I had my fair share of trouble and different things. And if you've watched me on Underground Radio with Big Nate, I've talked about some of that. And when I moved here, when I was I think I just turned 18. I moved here to just get a fresh start on life. And
did you know anyone here? Who did you move with?
I did not. So I moved here with a prior relationship. I have two older daughters, and I moved here with their mother and her family.
Okay.
And so I came here, got my GED because I had some trouble in school. Got kicked out of school when I was 16, being a knucklehead. But I got my GED and then enrolled in college. And I've been here ever since. I got in another relationship, started a family here, and I've been here since 2004.
2004.
And I've enjoyed my time here. It's a blessing.
Amazing.
And I want to plug this because a lot of people make a lot of negative remarks about Pine Bluff, and I really, really hate that because Pine Bluff was a saving grace for me. I was able to come here, get my education, work, and thrive, and I've been here this entire time. I have not left since I've been here.
Awesome. Listen, like I said, I don't know you personally, but I do know your wife. I went to Bel Air Elementary School with Destiny, and she was always just a sweet soul. I just
Are you telling the truth? She was sweet.
I mean,
just playing.
But she was sweet and like kind of quiet, reserved, and she always had beautiful hair. I remember when we were in Bel Air, like she used to wear the little buns with her waves. I was like, oh, her hair is so pretty. I do remember that about Destiny. And then I had the privilege to work with, I'm not sure if that's your oldest son. He was in the entrepreneurship club at the Generator. I had the pleasure of working with him. He is such a good kid.
Thank you.
Like we were talking about that last night with Nate. We were talking about the trees and the fruit that they bear. You can tell the tree by the fruit. And when I realized that was your son, I was like, wow, he was so sweet, so mannerable. I can't sing his praises enough. I really enjoyed working with him. But that's the extent of what we know, of what I know. So we're going to get into it today.
And I want to tell you, you brought it up. The hair is the reason why I wanted her too.
Really?
Yes, the hair was the first thing.
I knew it. She had beautiful hair. I used to love to see her waves walking through the halls and stuff. I was like, oh. Yeah. And I don't think I've ever told her that. So she probably didn't even know that I thought that. So we talked about your high school. What did you major in college?
I was a psychology major.
Wow.
Yes, psych major.
Well, you have a master's.
Yes. So after I graduated from UAPB in 2009, I sat out a year, and then I went to Strayer University, and I earned my MBA with a concentration in public administration. And then right after that, I got promoted. I worked for 6th Division Circuit Court under Judge Brown. Shout out to Judge Brown, the whole 6th Division staff. And I've been with the court since 2009. Right after I graduated, I started working there and sat out a year, got my master's, and got promoted there and been working. I got another master's degree in 2022. I decided to go to school of divinity. Started preaching and involved in church and everything. So I got my master's in divinity in 2022, And then this year, it's funny, I tried to go to law school. Last year, and the Lord had other plans.
You know, the Lord had other plans.
I recognize the need. You know, we don't have a whole lot of attorneys around here, and I was like, well, I got my divinity degree. I put the Lord first. So, you know, law school has always been an interest of mine, and I have a lot of interest in law, and I've done that over the years. And so that didn't work out. Lord had other plans, and so.
Is that what led to the candidacy for county judge?
Well, actually, right before that, so after I got denied from law school, Regent University, where I got my Master's of Divinity from, reached out and said, hey, we remembered you were interested in a doctoral program. And I was like, yeah, but I just started pastoring, so I'm cool on that.
So you are currently a pastor?
Yes, I'm a pastor as well.
You pastor a church? You want to shout out the church?
Yeah, New Morning Star Missionary Baptist Church, 3400 Roy Road, right outside Altimer, right off the highway.
Come on then.
Yeah.
All right.
Come by and see us. But I was like, you know, I'm cool. I just started pastoring. I want to focus on that and get into that because it only been a couple months. And they was like, well, you can apply and your application will be good for a year. All right, let's do the application. Like a week later, I heard back, you're in. When you want to start?
Wow.
I just told y'all. I was like, okay, let's start January. So I started January this year, and I'm just finished. I turned in my last assignment, just finished my first year of my doctoral.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
It's about to be Dr.
Yes.
Eric Walden.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to speak about your pastoral position because we had a very scary time in our family not too long ago. My aunt, my mom's sister, was very, very ill, and she was in ICU, and we were just kind of sitting there. I was on duty at the time because everybody else was at work or like in transition trying to get there. And he walks in, and I'm like, what are you doing here? Because the last I'd seen you, you were, I think it was at the radio station. I think that was the last time I saw you. Maybe not. But anyway, at the radio station, doing some stuff up there. And then he walks in, and I was like, is he in the right room? You be like, how you doing? I said, I'm fine. But anyway, y'all, he came in. He was a chaplain, right?
Yes.
Came in, asked us if we needed anything. He prayed for my aunt, and she is doing so much better. Hey, Aunt Jean, if you're watching this, he came in and prayed for you. You don't know it, girl. You were under the weather, but she is doing so much better. And we just appreciated you coming in because that was needed for us at the time. She really had us scared, and it was just a breath of fresh air to have a chaplain come in and pray over my aunt and for us during that time. So, tell us a little bit about the things that you do in the community.
Okay.
Tell us about that.
So for the last about 16 years now, I've worked for 6th Division Circuit Court. I started out there on the bottom floor. I was a mentor, unpaid volunteer, working with kids that were getting in trouble. I went from doing that to working part-time in a mentoring program we had just started. And then I went to being the assistant coordinator of that program. Then I transferred over to doing probation. And then right after I graduated with my first master's, I got promoted to being training supervisor and did that. And so after training supervisor, I've been assistant chief of staff since 2016. And in the course of that, working with, I couldn't tell you how many families, because we serve as Jefferson and Lincoln County. And in the course of mentoring and working cases and working with people, probably thousands of families over the years. And a lot of those kids, I'm proud to say I still have relationships to this day. You know, I'm 39, and some of these kids, they're almost as old as I am, 27, 28, 30, and they still call me, you know, for advice and different things. And so, and in addition to working for the court, I help manage we operate a number of grants. And so I help monitor those grants, expend those grants. I apply for grants of various amounts with the state and federal level. Matter of fact, just got off the phone call a little while ago because we applied for a federal grant. And so it looks like we got awarded. Hopefully, I had to call for some clarification. And then community-wise, outside of being a pastor, I served as a youth pastor at my previous church at Mount Zion over in Altimer as well. But Nate and I, who was on your show yesterday evening, shout out to Nathaniel Baker, Big Nate, Fourth and Forward. in addition to me working for the court, we ended up serving on a board together with What's Next Pine Bluff. And that was a great opportunity. Shout out to Mr. Bronskill and Mr. Donna Raj, former teachers at Pine Bluff High, that allowed us to run that program because that was originally theirs. We got to work with kids in an ALE setting, and it allowed me to work in a different role because they know me from the court system as being as an authoritarian figure. But with What's Next Pine Bluff, what we did was we helped provide incentives to these kids for their everyday report card for positive behavior. So Big Nate, myself, Tavante Calhoun, Hank Five, all four of us brothers were working together to provide incentives to these kids, taking them to movies, snacks, haircuts, working with the local barbers at the schools. I mean, there were so many different things. One of the biggest things, it was we took the kids to see Black Panther at the time when it came out.
That was big.
Yes. And so we worked with those kids for a number of years. And what else? The community-wide, the Gun Violence Awareness Day. We had a lot of gun violence going on over the last few years. And so in addition to, What's Next Pine Bluff, I also worked hand in hand with GVI, helping get that off the ground with the court system, the sheriff's office, the police department, Reverend Kevin Crumpton, who's the director, and our Gun Violence Awareness Day. That's an event that I plan in addition with the team, getting the vendors in. This year we had 60 vendors. We grew it from the year before. It was 40 vendors. We had 60, and just getting the message out, reducing gun crime. And to this day, we've done an awesome job at doing that. We've gone from having, I think that one year we had like 9-10 kids we lost to gun crime, and we've only had one so far. I know our streak got interrupted, but things have been going really, really well with that. So there's been a number of things. I know I'm probably forgetting some stuff.
Yeah. Do you do anything with the Boys and Girls Club?
I have a little bit. I know when Naisha used to be there, I used to donate some school supplies and stuff like that. Okay. And I've done a little bit since Tavante's been there, but actually, Tavante and I have been talking because I want to see about expanding Boys and Girls Club. That's one of the things. One of the things I want to work on, especially whether I'm elected or not, as county judge, to expand Boys and Girls Club, because being in the community all-timer, our kids there don't have any resources. Their hangout spot is a library. And so me being a local pastor and seeing the need, one of the things we do at our church, and I do out of my own pocket, is help provide them with snacks and food, every so often, because they don't have a budget for that. So we all chip in and help out for those kids, because they hang out there, they play video games, they have activities there.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
y'all donate to that. How can people help you do that?
Hey, they can reach out to, they can buy the supplies and get it to me, or if they want, they can take them straight and buy some snacks and supplies and take them straight to All-Timer Library. Yeah.
Or get them to him, he'll take them down before you can buy them. Okay, so I want to shift gears just a little bit and talk about your candidacy for county judge. So tell us in a nutshell, for those who may not understand exactly what a county judge does, let us know what their role entails.
So county judge is the mayor of the county, the CEO of the county. Some people, as I ran across in the campaign, some people get it confused and they think the county judge is like a circuit judge, that they hear cases, they hear legal cases. That's not what it is. It's kind of it's a misleading name. It really should be called county executive or county administrator. And so the primary duties of the county judge are the manage county funds, manage county roads, county property, applying for grants, managing county budget, Office of Emergency Management, as well as Veterans Affairs. So those are all the things that are involved with the county judge's office, and especially county roads, which is an issue we have because a lot of people are complaining about county roads. I've been in several areas around this county, Redfield and Moscow, and gone out and seen how deplorable road conditions are and how things have been neglected. And we've kind of lost our way. And I don't know if this is a lead-in question to why I'm running, but I kind of pick it up.
Yep, go ahead.
So we've been the subject of a lot of controversy over the last couple of years, especially this year in 2025. And I'll tell you, Andrew, I've been fighting for years. Wherever I go, if I go to conferences in Little Rock or Hot Springs or Conway or anywhere in the state, and trying to bring, encourage businesses or encourage people to come here, oh, you from Jefferson County? You know, before it was, man, y'all got all this crime, all these people shooting each other. And we've got we got some improvements to make on gun crime still, but gun crime has come down. And so now when I go places, it's not, I'm not being ridiculed about crime. It's like, what the heck is going on in Jefferson County with the county judge and the government? And it's like, so now, you make a positive step in this area, and now we're a step backwards in this one. Mm-hmm. And so as you all know, the beginning of 2025, we had a payroll crisis. We didn't get paid for 6 weeks. Again, I'm a county employee, nearly 16 years. And not only that, you brought up wife and family. I'm the breadwinner for my home. You know, my wife hasn't worked in a while, just being honest, because she really hasn't had to. We've been able to do everything off what I make, which is a blessing. But we didn't get paid for 6 weeks. And unfortunately, our state representatives, shout out to Glenn Barnes, Ken Ferguson, Mike Holcomb, they had to step in and get involved and help draft. Senator Ben Gilmore. I can't leave him out as well. He's not from this area, but he played a role in that as well. I had to give them a shout out because they came together and drafted legislation because it was an emergency to help get us paid because this thing wasn't gonna budge. And I don't know where we would be right now if they had not drafted that legislation. We might still be unpaid.
Wow. And
so during the course of that, and that was the second time. That was the second time we had a payroll delay. The first time was a few months before that. We had $400,000 worth of payroll held for $4,000 worth of checks that the current county judge didn't want to issue because he had an issue with those people. And I'm just speaking to the issues. I'm not trying to downgrade it, degrade it, but I'm just telling the story. Mm-hmm. And the story is the story. Mm-hmm. And so we called, reached out to the Department of Labor and reached out to them, and somebody came down and they had a conversation and we got paid. So that was the first time. And then January to the mid-February was the second time. And so out of that, a lot of people were scared. A lot of people were scared to speak up. A lot of people were scared to talk because they were worried about how it may impact their job. They were worried about making certain people upset. They were just scared to speak. And I ended up being the voice of the county employees. I've always been, ever since I was a kid, I'm telling you, man, I've been kind of the rebellious, not afraid to speak out person. I was the kid in middle school that when bullies picked on the other kids, I would pick on the bully. That was what I did. Because I don't, I'm a good person. I have a good heart, and I don't like seeing people suffer and go through like that. Mm-hmm. And so I ended up speaking out at several quorum court meetings, and also even getting on the phone several nights, trying to talk to all of the JPs, trying to get people to come together, work together so we can pass this budget. Because I have a vested interest in this as well. I'm a county employee. I got to pay mortgage, and I got to pay bills and buy groceries, and kids don't understand. Well, Daddy, why your check income? I can't tell them, well, the quorum court didn't pass a budget. They're not going to understand that.
Right.
And so there was a number of interviews that I did with press and in the quorum court meetings, trying to get people to come together. And that's kind of how this whole thing started. I didn't have an idea that I wanted to run for county judge then, but I just was trying to be that person that kind of helped bridge the gap. And then it didn't work out. State law had to intervene, and it just went from there. And it's been horrible. It's still it still hasn't gotten better. We're still having issues.
Okay. So from your perspective, mm-hmm. What do you think Jefferson County needs right now in their county judge or from their county judge?
Jefferson County needs a leader that shows up for them. I am really intelligence, EQ. I'm really big about putting people first, and that's what my whole campaign has been about: people, relationships, progress. It's not about me. This is about putting together legislation, working with our elected officials, collaborating, and doing things that are in the best interest of people. Just because we have an issue with each other doesn't mean that we can't still work.
Poor connection. There we are. We're back, y'all. Sorry. Go, I'm sorry.
But just because we have an issue doesn't mean we can't work together. There's been people over the years, I've had issues with whether it be an elected official or a coworker, but that doesn't get in the way of doing the work that needs to be done first. And we've gotten away from that. We've let personal feelings, we've let vendettas and grudges interfere with this whole process. There is absolutely no reason that for 6 weeks, a county employee should have gone without pay. When you look about it, and a lot of people to this day, again, we're still scared to speak, but also embarrassed because we are people that go to work each and every single day, working 40, 50, 60 hours a week, coming in early, staying late, and we're standing in lines at church like we don't work every day.
Yeah, because they had people coming to the quorum courts meetings talking about you can come get food from us, and you guys are actually working American adults, and that should have not been your situation. So what I'm hearing you say is you feel that Jefferson County is lacking a sense of professionalism when it comes to running the county. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's right. Professionalism and accountability. And I say accountability because, again, I want to shout out Pastor Barnes. Pastor Barnes, over the years, for me being a young man, has always been somebody that's held me accountable. I know if I have a situation I'm dealing with, I can go to him, and I got other people I can go to as well. And I ask him, hey, this is what happened. This is what's going on. Walden, you were wrong. Mm-hmm. This is what you need to do to fix it. All right? Listen to that advice and go do it. We've not seen any accountability. Everything that I've heard, every article in Deltaplex, every article in the newspaper, there's been zero accountability. It's been a blame game. Oh, the quorum court did this, the quorum court did that. There's been zero accountability at all whatsoever. As leaders, we have to be professional, and we have to be accountable, and we have to lead with integrity.
Okay. Yeah, I agree to that. Once we get that professionalism, that accountability piece in place, is there anything else that you would like to implement into the county in your first 90 days, 6 months to a year? What would that trajectory look like if elected?
So I know beginning, the first thing, and I'll say this, I can make plans all day at work. I have my schedule. Like I in the morning when I'm on the treadmill, I know, hey, when I get to work, man, I'm gonna do these reports. I'm gonna check on this staff member. I'm gonna check on this case, or I'm gonna do this, and then I get to work and everything goes out the window. Do the meetings or whatever comes up. But I know coming in, 3 main things that I want to do, that I plan to do, is personnel audit. Not necessarily with the other offices. They need to be able to be left alone and run for the time being. But with the county judge's office and the road department, personnel audit, because again, as I've traveled all around the county, we're not working on roads like we should be. There's holes in roads in my
we have a budget that's supposed to be doing that, but it's not being used, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
So we need a personnel audit, and I'm aware of some leadership issues within the county road department. So coming in, I need to assess that and see, okay, I need a road superintendent, I need staff, I need people, I need bodies, I need to see what else I need. Then equipment. And some of the quorum court meetings we've had in the last few months, we've been made aware of equipment that was auctioned off without the quorum court knowing about. We were also made aware of equipment, a $200,000 piece of equipment that was auctioned off that was still under lease. And so there's issues like that. So equipment audit. And then also some kind of financial audit just to see where we are financially. And one of the reasons I say that, because it's come up several times this year where people have come and requested money from the quorum court and say, hey, we're in the contract with the county judge's office, and the quorum court doesn't know anything about it. And certainly, those people should be paid, but we also have to be transparent. The county judge has the ability to enter into contracts. However, that information has to be disseminated to the quorum court and to the clerk's office. And that's been an issue in some of the audits where there were contracts entered into, and the contracts weren't filed with the clerk's office. That was an issue in one of the last audits. And so, the transparency and accountability are big things. And so my first 90 to 100 days is coming in, doing those audits with personnel, people, with personnel, equipment, and finances.
Amazing. Listen, I had to bring my notes over here because there's some questions that I want to ask, and I do not want to miss them. How would you describe your leadership style?
I would describe it as being transformational.
Ooh, I like that.
I say that because, again, I've been in a leadership position with the court since 2011, and we're about to hit 2026, and that's not for any reason. I believe in studying. I believe in reading. I'm all about self-care, empowerment, lifting people up. Everything that I do, it's not about me. I want to lift other people up. And especially one of the things I've been doing these last couple of years is building up some of the leaders that we have in our office that are under us. Got a couple staff right now working on. Hopefully they'll be supervisors one day when I leave, and then also working with our Gentlemen's Club. Shout out to Adam Price, founder of the Gentlemen's Club. That's my guy, young man. But working with young folks and trying to encourage and uplift people and push them to that leadership potential that I see in them. And being a voice, a lot of people within the county and even outside in the gym, I'm big in the gym, a lot of people depend on me for encouragement and support that I don't even realize sometimes just because they see the things that I'm doing. And so that's how I would describe it.
Awesome. What values guide you when making difficult or high stakes decisions?
Faith, definitely. I never want to make a rash decision. I always want to make sure I spend time in prayer. Even with the county judge, I spent probably about 8-9 months in prayer and discernment about that, because I was like, man, is this really about to happen? Is this? And I'll tell you, I was praying for somebody else. I was praying. I was like, Lord, and not just that position, but all positions. I was like, Lord, we need some godly leaders to run for office. Just period. We need godly leaders to run for office. And the last time I said that prayer, I was told, you're a godly leader. And I was like, yeah.
Not me, another guy. Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, well, let's look at this thing. And so I spent a great deal of time studying. I was reading law. I was doing all my background, doing all my homework and everything on this. And then my announcement, I didn't announce till August. And so, but all that time before that, I was researching and studying. And so faith is definitely one of my values that guides me. Faith, family, discipline. I'm big on discipline. Those are my guiding things.
I would say, just sitting here with you, I get the sense that you do not make decisions that are emotional.
No.
I feel like you look at the facts and then you go from there. I'm gonna leave that there. Okay, so another question that I have. We talked about the roads that need repair. Is there anything else going on in Jefferson County that you would like to see addressed if elected?
There's a lot of things that we could be doing countywide, a lot of initiatives we could be supporting. Boys and Girls Club. I was at Common Ground Ministries the other night with those young men, and that's an organization that helps men that are coming out of prison dealing with addiction and help getting them on their feet, getting them, together. And they do a lot of great community work. They come out to events, they clean up, they set up, they do all kinds of great things around. But they're in need of assistance. When we look at county budget and what's been going on, I haven't even counted them yet. That's one thing I gotta go through and look at. We've seen, and this goes back to accountability, zero accountability. What have we seen? We've seen lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit, whether it's the current county judge suing a number of people or it's people suing him. We've seen so much litigation. And if my memory is correct, the county has spent upwards $400,000 in legal fees. That's just on the current county judge. $400,000 in legal fees, in attorney fees. And we think about, what other things could that money could have been used for? What programs could we have supported with that money? And so that's one of the reasons why we need a different direction.
We need a different direction. Okay. One last question before you go.
Okay.
Voters who, like today, I didn't know you personally. I didn't know really much about, who Eric Walden Jr. is besides what I've seen. And all of it has been positive, I must say. So you're welcome. So what do you say, or what would you like to say to voters to let us know more about you as when we go to the polls to cast our votes, that you're on the forefront?
I'm very open. My campaign has had it's been a very personal touch. Everything that I've done is going out and connecting with people face to face, shaking handshakes, making handshakings with people. I was thinking too fast, but even we were in the Whitehall Founders Day parade. I was getting left in the parade because I was stopping and talking to people and shaking hands and talking to people about issues. And I had to run up the street, up Dalloway Road to catch up with the vehicle and the rest of the team. But we've been really, really personal with everything, everywhere that we're going, all the events we've been to, face to face. Not leaving flyers on cars and wasting time like that, but really getting out and showing up at people's events, showing up at eating meals with people and hanging out and actually finding out what it is that's really bothering them and how the county can better support them. That's one of the reasons I was at Common Ground the other night, trying to figure out how the county and the city could better support. And so anytime you see me, stop and ask me a question, feel free. Campaign page, my page. I know my friend requests have blown up over the months since the campaign has been going. But I'm an open book, willing to talk to any and everybody. And that's one of the other things people, I think, like and see, because my campaign is so inclusive. Our campaign is so inclusive because I'm running as a Democrat, but I have a great deal of support, Democrat side, Republican support, independent, libertarian, and then also across racial lines, Black, white, Indian, Asian, Hispanic.
May I ask your nationality?
Yeah, I'm mixed. I'm Black and white.
Okay.
And that comes, and it really doesn't even feel like a campaign, to be honest, Andrew, because like people have known me over the years and they know the work. Nate talks about fruit a lot. People have seen the fruit of my work over the years, and they've seen me interact with people. They've seen how I've taken care of their kids and their families, and how I can be stern, I can be strong, I can be a disciplinarian, but I also balance it with love and compassion. And so, I coached Little League football. That's one thing. I knew I was forgetting something. I coached Little League football when Keon was young for about 7 years in Whitehall. And so a lot of those kids and those families still remember me and know me. But yeah, anytime you see me out or reach out to me. And so I'm number 5 on the ballot. And so I came up with this thing. I had these 5 reasons to vote for Eric Walden. And one of them is faith-driven leadership. I am driven by faith. And ultimately, I'm accountable to God. And I don't want to be in trouble with God. That's the last thing that I want is for God to whoop me. I'm somebody that puts people over politics. Again, it doesn't matter. We can be in different parties. We can be in different groups or affiliations. We don't always have to agree. But one thing I'm going to do is put people over politics. That's something I've always done. Transparent and accountable. I believe in transparency. I believe in being accountable. Again, I'm 39 years old. In a few weeks, I'll be 40. And I have my people I go to. I told you one of them that, hey, I hold myself accountable to. They hold me accountable. I'm a uniter and not a divider. What I've been doing through this campaign is trying, because everybody's kind of working in silos. Alzheimer's doing their thing, Wabasika's doing their thing. You got Pine Bluff, you got Redfield. I'm trying to tie all the strings of Jefferson County together across racial lines, party affiliates, because there's so many things that we can do and benefit and help each other. There's things that Alzheimer and Wabasika can do to partner with each other more, and the county can be a better supporter of all of our other areas. But we're distracted because of the conflict and the chaos that's going on. So continuing to unite Jefferson County. And then lastly, energy for a stronger future. You know, I'm not an old man, and I'm not a young man either. I'm right there in the middle. You know, I get up and I believe in self-care. I get up and exercise each and every single day, and that keeps me going. And for those that follow the campaign, you know how busy I've been on top of everything else that I've been doing. It's funny because I got people that have been in campaigns and been elected. And they're like, man, how are you, you know, man, 3-4 events in one day and running the ground, running terror, and still going home and spending time with the family and getting to bed and getting up in the morning, getting up at 3:45 in the morning to go exercise and do it all over again.
That's discipline. And I feel that it will take a disciplined leader to steward our county effectively. And
it would, because this isn't a position you can sit in the office. Not right now. This isn't a position that you can just sit in the office and delegate tasks. This is going to require being out on the ground, boots on the ground, like the song says, and being involved, because especially with the roads, being out and being able to run around and have the stamina and the endurance to do so. It's going to be early mornings and late nights for a long time. But eventually, hopefully we can get to a place where the county is on autopilot, where we won't have all this, where services are being met, where our offices, the assessor's office, the clerk's office, and all of them have the personnel, the staffing, the equipment and supplies that they need to deliver the best quality of services they can. The road department is operating at a level where roads are actually being repaired. We're passing a budget early in October and not in December. You know, where employees can get bonuses, where we can see cost of living increases. It's crazy because like an area like Star City, Lincoln County, they get regular cost of living increases. And their staff down there is about to exceed our staff here. In
Star City.
In little old Star City.
Wow.
But they have a group, they work together, they have their budget processes lined out, and they're able to do that. But that's something we have no excuse. We got casino revenue. We have a lot of great things going on in Pine Bluff, and we should be running smoothly and efficiently. And the only way that's going to happen is to make changes with our county government, with our leadership, especially in the position of county judge, where we can get to this point where we're not in conflict with people, where we're not having to depend on state legislature and the governor to get involved in what's going on. We should be able to handle stuff right here and move forward and progress.
I think that's amazing. I thought we were done. I do have one more question now, because when you said that the seat of county judge could put things in motion to where our city employees could receive bonuses, raises.
County employees.
County employees could receive bonuses and raises. Is there anything else that like county constituents could receive any benefit from the position of county judge? Like, is there anything that we would receive benefit from?
I think there could be. I know in some of the areas, and it doesn't impact everybody, but animal control is one aspect, and that's kind of a minor issue, but that's something constituents reached out to me about. So in the area where I live right outside. I live right outside the city of Whitehall and right outside Pine Bluff down Princeton Pike. We don't have animal control. We've had an issue these last few weeks with dogs roaming around, invading people's yards, killing other animals, and all this. And we don't have anywhere for that to be addressed. We don't have a county animal control. But that's something that came up from listening to constituents, hearing about that issue, not just in the area where I live, but in other parts of the county. Again, youth services. I'll tell you, I follow Pulaski County government a lot, and I really commend them for the work that they do. And I have some old colleagues and classmates that work up there. They have a Pulaski County Youth Services that provides services to youth. And so that's something I would like to bring here. I would like to see a Jefferson County
What type
Youth
of services do they offer?
So they do after school programming, and then they also get a number of grants that they use to help work with kids. They just did a huge shoe drive. Senator Jamie Scott was involved in that. But their county government it's built in that focus on that youth component, and that's something we don't have here. Again, we're wasting all this money on attorney's fees and other stuff when we could be supporting and building up our youth here. Common Ground Ministries could be another example. It's something I'm still researching about, but whether some kind of support or MOU there. And I know at one of the recent quorum court meetings, some of the elected officials there, they expressed interest in being able to have some kind of discretionary funds to use with their constituents in their individual districts, kind of like what City Council had before. And so that could or could not be something that could come up. But there are other things that,
I think those are wonderful ideas, and I feel like there are probably more that you'll come up with if elected. And it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure to sit down with you and get to know more about you and your platform. And I hope that you guys out there have learned something. If you have any questions, I'm sure you can put them down in the comments. I did tag him so he can go when he has some spare time and look and answer any of the questions that you may have. Be sure to go and follow him. Let us know your pages.
Eric Walden Jr., personal page, campaign page, Eric Walden for County Judge 2026.
Right. The bottom line, guys, is that we want the best person in the seat. Yeah. We want a better Jefferson County, and ultimately a better Pine Bluff. So go back, rewatch the interview, listen to it. I know I'm going to go back because it's different when you get to sit and not be thinking of questions, and I'm actually able to digest what he said. But I must say that just sitting here and speaking with you, I think that you are a very, very valuable candidate for this race, and best of luck to you.
Appreciate you.
Best of luck to you guys. Thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate every opportunity. Yes.
Do you have anything coming up, any fundraisers or anything that we could help out with?
A lot of people have been asking about a fundraiser. So we had one back in September, and I wanted to do it before the holidays because now everybody's doing fundraisers and it's Christmas time. So, but I'll probably wait till the spring. We're getting ready to roll out campaign signs here in the next week or so after the holidays. Just gonna keep working. I'll be out and about. I got several other community events I'll be at, I'm sure. I gotta look at the calendar. But as soon as I have another fundraiser, I will let you guys know. Early voting though starts February 17th. Okay. February 17th, and then election day is March 3rd. And I will be out. I'll be out every day near the polling site outside the courthouse for that as well. And so, yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Listen, thank you so much. I'm going to get up and end this. You guys have a Merry Christmas. I probably won't be live before the holiday happens. Get your tickets to King Cotton, and we'll see you guys later.